prop Exo out. You pop Exo, you get an Aegis. With that Aegis on your Luna, you go.
They have a little bit of comfort as well with this. Lost to it, no shame in it, but I'm sure they're hoping not to make that happen. Straight from Seed 1, Eastern Europe DPC to going out in 2 series would be a tragedy, but it may just happen 2 times in one day. Have to find out with our casters.
Yes, it would be a tragedy. Be able to see the best in a region and yet fail to be able to perform on an international stage. And it's been happening, not just at this major, but it happened at the previous major as well. Curtis, do you have any theory about that?
Maybe just inexperience combined with sort of complacency from scrims. I feel like you can practice a lot, but when you don't get to test your ideas out in a real competitive environment, sometimes the lessons you learn might not be like as true. Maybe someone's not taking a scrim as seriously as they would a match. It's only like at these real big tournaments. That's why they always talk about LAN experience, where you're like, I need this LAN experience from playing, that you can truly test your ideas out.
I shall honor your name.
Well, that's fair enough. I think that,
I don't know though. I feel like VP should look better than this. Like maybe the teams, like the teams they're playing against are no like Nigma and Vici. They're very good teams.
Yes.
They're the teams that won the wild card.
Yes.
That progressed through the meta. But I'm a bit disappointed still.
In some ways, Virtus Pro is definitely running into some of the tougher teams, at least in my opinion, and it sounds like in your opinion anyway, that if they want to be truly a top 3 team at a major, though, they have to be able to prove themselves against some of the best, and Vici Gaming definitely representing that. They have 1-0 lead here in this best of 3. Set up 2 bounty runes apiece. Nothing major. We're going to have Ori playing the Lina mid lane up against the Death Prophets. How do you feel about this matchup that we have now?
I think Lina should slightly win, but because of how mid is set up with all the water runes, it shouldn't be that bad. It's a skill matchup. Like either of them can win.
Yeah.
But Lina more so probably. Do you see at bottom lane? They placed this ward, and Luna bought a clone blade at level 1 and cut all the trees. This is pretty interesting because Phoenix wants to play in those trees and sort of like use Fog of War so that A can't hit him and Luna can't beam him because he only has 1 armor. But they've sort of nullified that aspect of Phoenix.
Very interesting. We'll see if it actually manages to kind of win them the lane. That is one of the huge advantages of having a Luna in your lane, right? Is that you can play this little 1v1 as a support battle on the side, but Luna always has the range to be able to give the assist thanks to the long range of loose speed.
Yeah, and even just the aura, it's a huge contributor and when you're in these like harass where it's just supports fighting each other.
Fired Spirits, though, doing a lot of good work there in lane as they did manage to get the early deny on the range creep. Then our top lane matchup is the Ursa lane. So Ursa Centaur is a matchup that we've seen a number of times at this point, and it's one of those where they just kind of clash into each other over and over again. I guess that's going to be the same for every offlaner against Ursa, right? Is that you need to in some way be able to man fight him early, otherwise you're just going to get chased away.
Yeah, for sure. Ursa doesn't really have spells at level 1. The Furious Sites have gotten nerfed far from their past glory. So I think VP should have the advantage. They sort of have the harass advantage because his Wind Rangers is going to keep clicking them. But we'll see. Ursa has some like out-play potential. He always can have that kill threat in lane.
Yeah. One interesting note about the support duo for Vici Gaming, both Holy Locket heroes, right? So we might be seeing that item put into play once again.
That has been a very good meta. And it was started in China by Aster Gaming. I think you would have Lana with these Treant Protectors and Enchantresses. He didn't really do it this tournament, and as a result, I mean, Aster's already out, but surprised with that a bit.
Yeah. I know, that's, I think Tsunami said 2 times, so this would be the 3rd time, right? We had Aster, Alliance, and now potentially...
The VP beat a lower... They beat Quincy Crew last major.
That's true.
So, yeah. But yeah, they did not live up to the expectations last major, and they're looking to prove all the haters wrong this year.
Yep.
DP's actually doing pretty well mid. 13 CS. I mean, Lina has a couple of denies on her and 1 more creep alive, but fairly respectable.
All right, so I have this saying that I always say about Ori in my cast. I want to see if you agree. I think that Ori is the most improved player going back to like when he was like 2017 Vici Gaming. I think this guy has turned into like a legit monster where before honestly, I felt like he was a little bit one-dimensional, and it was kind of carried by Paparazzi, but I feel like he's just gotten better and better over the years.
For sure. I think he, early on in the DPC, he looked a little bit shaky. Maybe like season 1 to like early season 2, but I think he really stepped up his game. I think in season 1 of DPC, it was really the supports carrying the team, but I agree, he's been looking solid.
Money to burn.
GBK is outplaying him in lane though. I think I would call this a counter matchup, right? Because they last picked the 4 just because they thought the mid matchup won anyways.
Yeah. Do you think that Phoenix was like particularly a strong last pick?
Ooh, it's pretty scary this game, especially there's 4 range heroes as the panel mentioned, but they have the Mars Arena to completely protect that egg.
Yep. Yeah, combine that with Bulwark as well. Like, none of these heroes are going to be attacking that fast.
They definitely needed some team fight. So if they couldn't find a better team fighter from mid, I really like this Phoenix pick.
Yeah. DY doing his best just to be a distraction.
GPK did some quick feet moves and just managed to snag away that water rune.
Oh, nice. The other one was grabbed by PYW, so as a result, we're left with an empty bottle. You know, I love this role that DY's playing. All you do as a fight position is you just kind of distract the enemy from hitting your carry.
Yeah, you buy souls and you sort of like run around and try to...
Oh, there it is. First blood. Bottom lane. We saw the Mars was a bit low. Not expecting him to die to just an Ancient Apparition. Looks like he just underestimated the damage that Chilling Touch does.
I think... I'm not too sure if I saw it, but maybe his range up didn't block. Was it a level 1 Chilling Touch? His range up doesn't block the 50 damage anymore.
Oh.
So it's only 75 and higher. So maybe expected the range up to kick in and it just didn't there.
Interesting.
Because he's not missing a range up charge. So that might have been like a small patch note. It's supposed to be a nerf to range ups, but actually, or I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it killed him.
Yeah, I looked at it and felt like it was kind of a buff, but I guess in very specific circumstances.
You generally don't want to only block 50 damage, so it should be a buff.
There it is. Old 11. And maybe he thought he was hiding in the trees. Like he couldn't be seen.
Oh,
either way, it looked funny. Old 11 just dies like that. Old 11, man, what an interesting player.
He is like the 50-50 of China.
Yeah.
Kind of he dominates the game. Generally, I think people would say he's had some games where he's looked a bit shaky in lane, but as you can see from last game, when this lane goes well in that DK, like he's taking over the game, leading the charge.
So I used to be the biggest fan of Old 11. I thought he was fantastic because I had nostalgic value attached to him. I cast him way back in like 2014 when he was on Immortal Magneto Gaming, right?
On what?
Yeah, that was a team name. That was a Chinese Immortal Magneto. Yeah, that was a team name. And I was like, oh, this guy's sick. Like, look at him. He's climbing up the ranks and everything. But then at some point in time, I was just like, you can't be throwing as many games as you do. He's definitely a high-risk, high-reward player, that's for sure.
Very entertaining.
Yes, very entertaining.
DPOT.
Yeah, GPK with the early rotation, kicking Poyo out of lane before he's really ready to be kicked out of lane. But it's not looking like they can do a whole lot about it. That's a Siege Wagon push with a Death Prophet Exorcism.
And a nice rotation here from Windrunner to mid, just to make sure they don't lose this tower.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Linas, specifically Nothing to Say. They sort of go for these 1v1s against the mid tower, where they're just hitting the tower without any creeps. The tower's hitting them and just bottle through and kill the tower. It's one of Lina's bigger strengths as a mid hero, I'd say, right now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that from these Templar Assassins, Fleshrax, Linas.
No, 11's getting bullied, man. This A, he's level 5, he's just beating him.
What's the skill builds on this?
A has 302, and Luna has 3 points in aura, so this A is hitting really hard.
Oh, he's gonna hit him, that's it! Dead again!
Catch.
Kingslayer owning this lane. You mentioned it in game 1. You said this guy, like, they may have lost that last series, but he always does well in lane.
He's probably one of like the best laners in pubs, at least, that I've played with. He always has an idea of like how he wants to play the lane, when he wants the support to leave, just very accurate with his reads on the lane. I think even versus Nigma, he won his lane really hard game 1. I can't remember what hero he played because my memory's awful, but he looked good in that until they lost to Nigma's aggression and grouping up.
Yeah, Nigma just seemed to, I think it was like a rotation from Miracle or something, and then, you know.
Yeah.
But just every single time it was just like...
Exo's up again. I'd like to see the center slide over to mid lane and for them to just take this tower together.
Yeah, they're going to try and go for DY here. Goes for the DP out. Oh, barely gets a Crypt Swarm off in time. Was that an Arcane Room exorcism? I feel like that.
It had to be, because this is up really quick. I think the first one's at 6 minutes, and it's supposed to be a 2.5 minute cooldown.
Yeah, so they're...
Yeah, so here comes the Centaur. He's just sliding over.
Okay.
Come into Phoenix's DMs, and, you know, it's not a happy message.
Hey, what's going on, man? You want to see this picture I got? Oh, well, there he goes. PYW dead. It's not a good picture at all. It's a picture of your mid-tier 1 tower crumbling onto the ground.
It's so hard to defend this. Normally, I think if the lane sort of went as Vici expected, this Mars would have a bit more. Maybe they'd have some threat on this Luna. But because of how hard they won bot lane, it actually means that they can't put enough pressure on bot lane to defend mid, if that makes sense. Like, they would need to like make VP feel like they need to bring resources bottom, and then they can defend mid. Instead, they just take the mid tower for free.
Yeah, I mean, Mars is a combo hero. Without his ultimate, he is significantly worse, but he died so many times in lane, just now picking up his level 6, but that is also the same time that Nightfall rotates out of the lane, starts playing jungle. Maybe Save will do the same thing where he did mid lane. He tries to kind of show up, see if he can kill the creep wave from a distance with power shot. DM, meanwhile, on the front lines. This is what you were talking about earlier, right? Where you are able to take the enemy safe lane tower, you become strong enough, you can defend your own.
For sure, and I think Centaur's a bit of a forgotten hero at this tournament, but he was a classic Vanguard. Take the tower, TP safe lane, and try to defend it. So you don't want to overcommit. If the enemy brings 5 heroes and you don't have the TPs ready, you know, maybe they deserve it. Maybe we'll just hold our jungle instead, as VP are doing.
Yeah.
But you need to take control of this area. Even if they take this tower, as long as you can push the creep wave past where the tower was, it's not like the tower gives them any map control. Your map control is determined by your creep waves, not the towers you have alive generally.
And Vici Gaming, knowing that they're going to need some map control here, taking this tower, shoving the creep wave into tier 2, opens up the jungle a bit, but it does mean Virtus Pro, you can see, very spread out. They're literally farming 5 different areas of the map.
Yeah. And DM, he just walks into the enemy triangle casually. There's this great ward placed by supports. Steals a bounce rune, steals a small camp. Always nice to see.
Yeah, very good. Vici Gaming supports very underleveled, especially DY, who getting hit by that Ice Blast is not going to be enough to take him out here, so he'll be okay. He's given the tome, so he'll start getting a little bit closer to his level 6.
They do have a Phoenix 6 with a Mars Arena, so hypothetically, Axel's already up in 10 seconds, but hypothetically, they could still take a fight as long as they find the right go. However, it's sort of hard to find that because Mars' game is not that good and it's not looking to get better here.
No, it's certainly not. DM moving over with GPK. Stampede going off. Old 11 not going to be able to get down the spear in time. Already copping a lot of damage. Maybe it's okay, actually. He pushes back the Death Prophet. Still, though, takes so much damage, he's got to head back to base. Meanwhile, DY dies in the bottom lane. Again, still not having his level 6, so no protection there.
I love how the VP can play while still maintaining control of areas. So they're showing their 2 and 3 at top lane, going for a kill. Meanwhile, their 3 heroes are grouped up in the jungle, and DY, you know, he's a smart player. He sees 2 heroes top. Oh, I can go in and ward, D-ward. Nope. Punish you immediately.
Yeah, what did he run into that he died? It was just Luna farming the jungle?
Honestly, at this point, like a Luna beam plus AA spells, he'll just die.
Yeah.
It's a level 5 Abaddon. He does manage to refill his Lina's bottle, which is helpful. She has her Yule's timing, so that bottle refill might give him a little bit of a timing, but the moves aren't simple for Vici right now. It doesn't feel like you can just really go anywhere and arena someone.
Ice Blast into Exorcism, so Virtus Pro can use this momentum to try and invade Vici Gaming even further. Now, PYW sitting on the high ground here, and he does have that Supernova ready to go, so Virtus Pro are going to respect that and just be happy with the fact that they are definitely out farming Vici Gaming right now.
I'm honestly really impressed that Ursa is keeping this close in farm to Luna. I feel like usually I see Luna's pulling ahead.
Okay.
Maybe
still gonna get that tower.
Like Luna hasn't moved to the top side at all, which is usually where you farm faster, just so you can transfer between the ancients and the lane. But yeah, no, Poyoyo, he's, I don't know how, he just has so much farm. He's playing really well. No deaths yet, even though his tower died.
Yeah, he was a big reason why they were able to do so well last game, was because of him being able to do really well against the Timbersaw in lane.
Center did slightly win that lane, but farm it up.
Red smoke break. GPK is actually going to try and fight this one with a Stampede, but there goes the Arena. Instead of blocking out, it's not blocking out the shots. The Luna kills it. They manage to bring down the Phoenix. No explosion there, and the rest of VG Gaming already dead. And the roars coming from the Virtus Pro side of the building. It's loud. They're feeling it right now. They were probably frustrated after that game one, and there it is. They start tipping each other. They're feeling good about that.
A really good catch from them. I gotta commend Kingslayer there. Sorry, I was gonna call him by his old name.
Yes, yeah.
It's very confusing. Dota players, stop changing your names.
Thank you.
When he broke that smoke, his reaction wasn't to run and be like, I'm dead. He instantly AALT'd 2 heroes. Very quick reactions, good read on the situation, there to turn it. Barely off with that Mars Arena on the egg. I think a matter of pixels.
Yeah, that was so close.
Not gonna lie, I don't know how much it would change because they were just so dominant in that fight.
Yeah, the fact that GPK was, with that Ice Blast, able to just fully commit onto everybody. Like, he killed everybody else, even if the Phoenix egg explodes. He's got no allies left after that. So
I think Death Prophet, ever since they changed the animation to Crypt Swarm, the spell has become a really good team fight spell. It feels very casual and nice to use. On a smoke straight up from Vici, they're mad. They just lost a fight. They want to get something on the map. Maybe a bit of a desperation move to go for this.
Yeah, they're trying to sneak in a Roshan right now, but Virtus Pro, they know. DUI. Uh-oh, my friend.
He's fine.
He's
okay.
Yeah. If he's okay being dead, then maybe he's fine, but he's going to be gone for 20 seconds.
Roshan, okay with his death. okay
with losing the game, going to a game 3. GPK with the exorcism.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looks like they're going to be able to get this with no contest. Silence going out, preventing the Mars from getting anything there. Gold 11 spotted by the Sentry, not going to be able to throw a spear, throw an arena, nothing. Vici Gaming, they are just stumbling about now. They're going to buy back, see if they can actually win this around the outpost here as GPK is heavily committed in. It looks like the rest of Virtus Pro, they're just going to leave him behind, spear down into the tier 2 area. DM came back to try and help out GPK, but I feel like the rest of Virtus Pro, they actually are going to come back in. They have the Eclipse with the level 2. They're going to be able to blow up several heroes with that one. Lina and Phoenix gone. Old 11 playing outside of his arena right now, trying to block off these shots from Nightfall, running down to the river, looking to be able to jump, but he just can't get far enough away. Nightfall with the triple kill. Virtus Pro played it slow and found their opportunity to re-engage off of the Eclipse.
Just really stellar play from VP. I think this is what a hero like Luna lets you do. Because you have so much extra damage to take these objectives, you can often like take the objective and start making your next move as faster than the opponent expects. Save is going ham here. He's just at the enemy tier 3s as support. I mean, he might die here, but I can appreciate it.
I guess he thought that DY already used his ultimate. I mean, there was just
probably.
a team fight.
He did use it in that team fight, I mean. So, I mean, he's feeling himself. Sometimes you got to go for those as a support.
Yeah, I mean, he is playing his signature hero, the save 4-position Wind Ranger.
Are you guys
been becoming a little bit iconic for Virtus Pro.
And I gotta say, how VP are playing this game is how I expected them to play a bit more.
Yep.
Very aggressive, very quick to punish their opponents. VG's still in this though. They have this very firm Ursa. I mean, he's 2,000 behind Luna now, but for this matchup, I would say Ursa can always kill Luna as long as he's not 2 items behind.
Okay, so I know that you think this, we watched the replay real quick of Nightfall coming in with the Eclipse, and you can see
that's really funny, actually.
I wonder what he was saying with that one. That's hilarious.
Like, sorry guys, had something in my bag. I'm chilling. We missed DY, so just coming into the jungle there and getting popped.
Yeah.
Maybe because he didn't have ultimate, so maybe, you know, saves play.
Save.
He basically killed him. He did this.
They spotted. All right, silence before he can get off the LSA. Goes for the Yule Scepter, but GPK is here too. I think Virtus Pro, they realize how much stronger they are than VG Gaming right now and are just using their speed to just zoom around the map constantly.
They're just feeling themselves. They're diving tier 2s. They're pushing these tier 3s. If you take a young team of players and you make them like feel comfortable, I think this is what you get.
Yeah.
I think we saw in game 1, like they're not the most comfortable on LAN yet. They performed under expectations at previous tournaments. All it takes is one game to completely change your mentality. I think we might see a new VP coming into this game and even maybe in the 3rd game if they can close this out.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, the fact that they did have that very serious discussion after game 1 and then just came back, laughing a bit, having a good time in this game too, and
Radiant's
currently
bottom tower
wrecking
is under
VG
attack.
Gaming as they're up by 6,000 net worth before the 20-minute marker.
Honestly, that clip of save was so funny. Like, imagine looking to my side and my teammates have their hands up their mouse and keyboard. Like, my bad, guys.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff right there.
Grab the Invis rune, but oh, it's still going to be caught. Sentries are available, it seems, constantly for Virtus Pro. But he managed to get outside of the range of the sentry and correctly read where Virtus Pro thought he was going to go.
At the same time, I already mentioned this, but Vici is in this. If they get a good Mars arena on top of the egg to protect it, sort of bait VP into a bad fight on top of that egg, I mean, you have Phoenix Mars. You can always win these fights, and Ursa can burst on down.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I know you think that Luna is kind of an underrated hero right now. Maybe at the beginning a little bit more of its fan service. It should. But you think it's really strong, right?
I do.
Okay, and we felt we were watching DPC, we'd see these Lunas and be like, oh god, another lost game. And part of the reason is his hero gets really strong, but it feels like one bad death and the game just kind of starts falling apart for you.
For sure. I think Luna, she's a weird hero because she farms really fast, and you feel like a hero that farms that fast should be able to 1v5, but she's not a 1v5 hero. She can tank like a 1v5 hero, but she doesn't dish out the damage the same way.
Okay.
She doesn't have an actual single target steroid. You think of Terrorblade, low BAT meta. You think of Juggernaut, he has a crit and low BAT. Luna doesn't have any of that. It's only when two things are beside each other that glaives sort of act as that multiplier to her damage.
In that case, like, how do we prevent that? So is it just important that we keep the other damage dealing core up alive, that being the Death Prophet?
I think it means you just need more sources of damage in your team. We saw, I think, Nigma run it with a Doom mid. Doom's gonna completely nullify the enemy carry. Luna might not beat him 1v1, but if the enemy carry is doomed, I'm pretty sure my support can beat him.
Okay.
You have the AA blast, that's single target damage right there.
Okay.
As long as you have a team to back you up and you're giving vision with your aura, providing some team fight and AoE, I think this hero's really strong.
Okay, so maybe neutralizing the Ursa is going to be important in this game, right?
I think so, that sounds right.
Okay.
I mean, Ursa's the only real damage for Luna until Lina starts to really scale, but Lina's had to go for like Yo's BKB. I don't think this Lina will be as much of a scaler as some of the nothing to say Linas where they got to like Daedalus and AC or Satanic really quickly.
Right.
Eventually they will though. Like Luna is on a timer. I want to be clear about that. If they mess up some team fights, as we were mentioning, Vici can definitely come back to this.
I think DY is taking this whole distraction thing to a whole new level.
Did he hit the tier 1 there?
He was collecting, I think, the creep wave and dragging it away.
Okay.
I don't even think he wanted necessarily.
But he left the creep wave. It's coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have ulti, so he's a bit scared now. Cool. I mean,
it's an interesting idea, right?
Saw some heroes.
Yeah, siege wagon waves are always important, right? And that was specifically what he was trying to grab there.
Yeah, and I mean, DY, his function's weird in this game, right? He's just sort of acting as a mobile ward. You're a support Avalon, but your team, the conditions for your team to fight are complex. So you can't just like run somewhere, tank a little bit, and start the fight right now. You need a proper setup.
Well, maybe it just got a little bit simpler with BKB on the Ursa. So that is one problem. In so many of these team fights, you're up against a Death Prophet. Yule Scepter is like the bane of your existence. As an Ursa, you enrage, you get Yule Scepter. So now he's got BKB, so we can go get on top of the Luna and stay on top of the Luna. That's going to be his game plan,
The only problem is Luna also finished her BKB here. As soon as Ursa initiates, I think they'll just stampede the Luna away.
Yeah.
He had like a 5-second timing there, very hard to hit. But now GPK and Luna, they both have BKBs. And I mean, Stampede plus BKB, there's nothing to lock them down from the side of Vici at all.
Yeah, Vici Gaming have no BKB piercing disables. They also have no instant disables. So it means Nightfall should, in theory, always get off the BKB. There's a chance, I guess, he gets, blink speared. Mistakes do happen, but the expectation is he's gonna get off that magic immunity item, and they're probably gonna get off Stampede. So
for sure. And VP, if they see the BKB, they should just kite out the fight, try to kite that egg and BKB, and then reset. They have a lot of sustained damage in team fight. They're wrapping all the way around here.
Yeah, Vici Gaming playing on this high ground, but if they wrap all the way around, this is the last place that Vici Gaming are expecting this kind of jump. They jump forward. Immediately hit the Ursa, stun him up, but BKB is going to go off immediately afterwards. Going for Nightfall right now, but he actually doesn't feel good about it. You can see he's walking away. He's leaving Old 11 and Ori behind. Ori, who's going to be targeted down by Sage's Wind Ranger. They go for the Supernova, the explosion. It is gone. Ends up dying. DY. Yeah, Poyo-Yo. Even though he wanted to leave that team fight, he's still kind of stuck around, and ultimately means he gets caught by the Yule Scepter.
I think Ursa did 3 right clicks that fight. He has ulti, he has a full BKB, he hit Luna once, she ran away with the Centaur Stampede, and he hit Windrunner twice, but Windrunner was fine trading her life for the enemy carry.
Yeah, that was just... oof. Very awkward team fight. Great for Virtus Pro, and now tier 3 down. Luna hitting your barracks always feels fantastic. You're bouncing glaives.
Travel's coming on DP as well. Just they know that they have the team fights won. You can just secure some more map control, and this is where Luna really shines, right? As soon as those glaives get off, the Raxes are dead. It's impossible to fight into this.
Yeah. You can see just
But beat you want to.
They're gonna try spearing back Nightfall. This is a good opportunity here, but the Ice Blast is coming in. Looks like Nightfall is gonna get burned down by the Sunray. A good start for Vici Gaming. They need to be able to catch more heroes though. Kingslayer, a slight TP away, gets him out, and everybody else from Virtus Pro did leave their carry behind. They just called a hard reset to that one.
Amazing execution from Vici there. It's not often that you see the heroes are respawning, so they're not even all ready, but you get a spear into some Phoenix dive slow into a Lina stun. Just good spell casting there, and that's on the enemy carry. I like the calmness of VP though. They know that Luna doesn't have BKB. He's being speared back into the base. I think I've seen a lot of this tournament. There's a bit of save your buddy syndrome.
Yep.
VP showed there. Like, I'm pretty sure Nightfall yelling, guys, leave me, get out.
Yep.
Like, they know that the next objective is going to be this Roshan. As long as they can control this pet while Luna's dead and get it after, they're complete control of this game.
I can't believe Poyo-Yo came back. I think they thought the Supernova was going to explode, but I watched him walk away with his full BKB. And then he walked back into that one.
It feels awkward because you feel like you should be strong. You just finished your BKB, but you're not.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, like our brains, like we're saying, all our experience on this Ursa here, when I get BKB, I'm a boss.
Yep.
This situation, you're not, and it leads to like sort of some weird plays like that. They did force out GPK's BKB, so maybe a small timing from Vici, but again, the conditions to get the fight are difficult this game. It's not simple at all.
Can they no longer go for the Luna? Do you feel like they be targeting somebody else because there is now this BKB Stampede problem?
Yeah, I mean, if you can find an A, it's good, but he's going to have buyback. You should expect that now. I think the best way for them to fight is to try to trade Arena for Luna's BKB and like get out without losing anyone, because there's a stage from the Abaddon. And then if you can get a fight without the Luna BKB, then you can actually commit on her. Maybe just one Lina stun, one Mars Spear, and Ursa will burst her down.
So maybe an Arena Spear, she pops BKB and like maybe a defensive Supernova.
Yeah, you bait her a bit more in.
Sure.
Maybe ideally you hold the Supernova so that they're not like just running and resetting, you're not spending too much just for a BKB. You get a Lina stun, Laguna her with the Ursa hitting her, and hopefully you win that fight. I mean, it's a lot of conditions to meet. The more conditions you have to meet to fight in Dota, the more complicated it is, the more harder it is to pull it off. But
that's why
a
big
hard
team
game.
fights like the Black Holes, Tidehunter Ravages, right?
Yeah,
those are very simplified team
fights. It makes it easy to see what you have to do to win a team fight. It's not simple to see for Vici how to win this team fight. They have to play this entire game and think of how to take these fights. It's really hard to do.
Ice Blast spawns two in the back line with a stop coming out from DM, hits both of them. Supernova still goes off. It's on the high ground here. Can the Mars stop it? He was actually silenced for so long he couldn't get it off in time. No, the Supernova does explode. They couldn't get the last hit in, and now stuck inside the arena with the Sunray on the high ground. They are getting burned down. Ori popping a BKB, but he sees Save. Save as the 4th-position Wind Ranger is going to chase this Lina away. But a nice spear back in by Old 11 finishes off that support. DM and Save are both dead. It's 3 of Virtus Pro staying alive. Vici Gaming losing nobody in that team fight. In fact, Kingslayer died and he also bought back. So that was 3 for nothing.
Amazing. Like all the conditions I talked about, Vici managed to find them. They took a fight into the high ground. They traded the arena and A to kite the BKBs, and they got it with everyone alive. They should. I mean, that's super impressive.
How did that 8 not die?
Nah, that's a perfect arena apparently.
Yeah, I mean GPK like.
Oh, VB still want to fight though.
They really are, and they are going to be able to kill Old 11 even through the Aphotic Shield. Oh dear. They thought they had a free Roshan. They may still be able to get it. Virtus Pro, are they going to try and jump in, silencing him? Ursa's not happy with that one. They're gonna have to back out DM again with the 2-man stomp, but this time around the Phoenix will die. No supernova to save you, sir. The Lina also falling right next to him, and Virtus Pro will now take full control of the Roshan pit. Grab the Aegis.
This A hero, it's just so strong. I think I'd say most people would say Mars is the hero of this tournament, but right after him is the AA hero. Just the vision in the Roshan pit, the long range spells, and of course the Ice Blast. They're just such a nuisance to play against for Vici this game.
The Aghanim Shard picked up for Nightfall on the Luna, so now we have those extra glaive attacks that come off of the Lucent Beam.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Top tower is under attack.
He's going for a Butterfly Nyx. I think he might not get a chance to use it because he might win the game here, but I think the item's correct. That's all.
Yeah.
So that was a useless thing to say. Why did I say that?
No, I think it was fair. If they can actually keep this going.
Look at these glaives. They're just chunking down DY.
Yeah. And it always feels so terrible when you're like, oh, we can't stop him hitting this tier 3. They're going to go for him now, trying to burn out that Aegis with low commitment. But Yo is going to find he's going to have to use his BKB to get out of here. That is not what they wanted. Okay, Nightfall is going to willingly expend his first life here to keep this going. Exorcism bringing down the tier 3 tower. Ori looking to get the stun. Nice Manta, though. And the glaives begin to bounce. Vici Gaming is going to have to forfeit this area. Oh, never mind. Oh, Levin's going to go for it. Spear off the Death Prop, the Supernova on the outside of the arena too. This will definitely explode, but the Virtus Pro, they're gonna pop their BKBs and get out of range of the giant explosion. Now they're jumping back in, silence up on the Phoenix, not letting him Icarus dive away until the Aphotic Shield, not even that, couldn't get the dive away. The Aphotic Shield cleansed off the silence, but there was just too many disables coming in as Nightfall with a well-timed Lucent Beam helped get that kill.
Really back and forth in these team fights, you know, they're really good at trying to bait the other team in. They understand that in this game, BKB is key. If you have BKB plus centrality on the VP side, I think it's impossible to kill you. And Ursa needs to understand that he can only kill heroes during his BKB because there's just so much disable and slows coming off from that VP side. The one redeeming factor from Vici happening though is that Lina is building up that farm. He's getting close to that MKB.
Okay.
If Luna goes, as he is going for that butterfly, into the MKB, he might be the hero that kills Luna every fight. Then Ursa can sort of act as more of a distraction. You know, you can trade your BKB for the Lunas and not feel bad.
Right.
Regeneration.
Vici Gaming.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They still have their tier 2 up the bottom lane. They're going to have to fight hard to keep control of their triangle. Otherwise, they're just going to have to do a whole bunch of split pushing. Tier 1 even still up, actually. You could see Virtus Pro just calmly collecting more items. They've got their tier 3s to be able to farm out. They've got Shiva's almost done for the Death Prophet, so that is a huge amount of survivability against that Ursa in particular.
I think right now they pretty much just want to wait for this Butterfly and Luna and then head towards bottom. I'm not sure if they feel like they need to wait for this Aegis just because there's so much time before that potential respawn.
Yeah.
And they have the items to win as soon as they get that Butterfly. It's just about whether they think they're strong enough to fight into like buybacks on the high ground and extra vision.
It's a bit about risk, right? It's like, what are you risking if you go for that high ground? And if Roshan can't spawn while you're dead, then probably not that much. Maybe they'll get a tier 1 tower.
I think that's a definitely an accurate statement. Also, they still have this cheese, this DP. We've talked a lot about the Luna, but this DP is definitely a force to be reckoned with. He has BKB and Kaya Sanj. He's just incredibly hard to kill before he gets this cheese off.
How much do you know about GBK? Because we had obviously heard that he was like the hottest player on the market at some point in time before Virtus Pro finally got their hands on him. Obviously, there was a bit of time where he was on Gambit and he was being held there. It just seems like he was very highly regarded. Why is that, do you think?
I think it's just how he played in pubs. Everyone could see, like, it's not even just the rank you are, it's sort of how you're playing.
Okay.
He would carry games that shouldn't be carried. He was very aggressive. And of course, he had that stint where he's standing in for EG. He looked absolutely fantastic in that tournament. So, I mean, he's showing he deserves the accolades, right? He's playing very well this game. Like, controlling the entire game, taking top and mid tower, really set up his Luna for success in this game.
Top tower is under attack.
It feels a little bit silly to say, but like, he just looked like a game player, right? He looked like somebody who changes the state of the game.
Radiant's top tower.
And he's a player who can sort of carry a game and sort of do his role, which is like very good for a mid player to have. It's one of the best qualities.
I mean, yeah, he's probably his most well-known hero is like Viper. You know, that's not like exactly a late-game hard carry, but he's a beast on that. He's shown really good at the death. Probably managed to dodge the spear there. His ult 11 attempting an execution there. Great shackle going out. DY gonna pop his ultimate to remove that. Ice blast over the top is gonna hit Ori. But the problem is, Vici Gaming not losing any heroes to this. They still have to be able to fight for their barracks. The Supernova's gonna go down. That's gonna force Virtus Pro to back it up a little bit. The rest of Vici Gaming do get time to recenter themselves. Virtus Pro buy back on save. He's saying this is an opportunity in the game, and I mean, the tier 3 is down. Once that Luna starts hitting the barracks.
They should go for it. Ursa has no BKB, and they still have BKBs under 1 and 2.
There goes the arena. Trying to go for the spear. BKB out from Nightfall. Turns around, hitting DY. At the same time, Poyo does manage to focus down DM. Damage really racking up. GPK, though, on the front line is going to pop the sheep. Great shackle out from Save. Beautiful initiation that catches 2 cores and pretty much ends the game right here. As you can see, Vici Gaming call it. And we are going to a game 3. I think, Curtis, both you and I are breathing a bit of a sigh of relief. We wanted to see Virtus